Now, for businesses, my next guest likens the current climate to like sailing a ship through a storm. So the wind's blowing pretty badly, the sea's raging, and you get knocked all about the place. The immediate response has been to batten down the hatches, shorten the sail and have only essential crew active. And just trying to get through that storm in one piece is what the aim is at the moment. But when it comes to having a look at the damage that's been done and working out where you want to go in the future, what happens then? David Campbell is a leadership management and process expert and says that businesses really should be having a think now about how they're going to recover when all this is lifted. David, good morning.
Good morning, Barry. How are you?
Good. Now, practically speaking, what are many businesses experiencing at the moment?
Look, in my experience, the majority of businesses have taken that, exactly what I was saying, that situation of everything is hitting them from every single direction, and so they're lightening their load, they're closing down, they're literally shutting their doors, and it's all to save their cash flow so that they can stay buoyant going forward.
At what point then do you begin to reassess and try and establish a path that might, bring you success or continue success in the future?
Look, Barry, it's a great question, and I'm sure it's one that a lot of your listeners, in fact, a lot of my clients are asking. The situation is that I think we should have been reassessing from the moment that we started closing the doors. One of the things that was so important, I think, was getting out and marketing yourself in this time, because everyone else isn't. So it's putting you out in the forefront. But again...
Can I just ask, how do you do that if you're not certain if you're going to survive? I mean, as you mentioned, there'd be a number of businesses wondering if they're actually going to be operating.
Absolutely. I agree. I think it is a challenge. It certainly was a challenge for me. I was of that same opinion, and look, cash flow for me is pretty low. But it's whether you have faith in yourself and in your business, because you started this business with a dream, and the reality is you will go there. You'll do what you need to do to get there. I've got my own coach often says, go out of the garage, look around, what can you sell? You will do what you need to do to stay afloat. And so I think during this entire process, this entire situation that we're striking, we need to think of it from that perspective of saying we can stay afloat. We just need to be diligent and focused on what we're doing. There's that old adage that what doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
Or if you're going through hell, keep going. My guest this morning, David H.F. Campbell, leadership management and process expert, talking about businesses and going through a very difficult time. A lot of businesses are at the moment. So where's the path out of all of this? You mentioned there that, if things really go pear-shaped, you start going out to the garage and looking at what you can sell. But more generally speaking, how do you prioritise during this time as to what you're going to be bringing back online first, what will come next, and so on? Absolutely.
I think it's really a concept of knowing what your goals are. What are you heading towards? And whatever goals you had prior to this entire COVID situation, you probably need to take a moment to reassess those and say, are they still valid? But then turn around and say, okay, I now have my goal. What's my priority? Have a look at what's going on in my business. That same analogy of damage control. What has broken? What needs fixing? Do I need to go to a port now and get help? Or can I keep sailing? Can I keep pushing through? Have I got the wherewithal on board to be able to fix everything that I need to fix so that I can get sailing again?
David, look, let me just read you this text because it will relate to a question I'll ask you. And it says, when the social distancing measures are lifted, boundaries are open, there's still no vaccine, Australians will have to start getting this virus. It isn't magically going to go away. Business and money will be the least of our worries. But it comes to the point of we don't really know at which point the restrictions will be lifted. which makes planning even more difficult. So what's your advice for those, where things are getting to the pointy end of proceedings and yet we still don't know the way out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot does come down to understanding your goal. I have worked with so many businesses where, it started out as somebody who didn't want to be taking a salary anymore, but wanted to have their own freedom, have their own success. And along the way, they seem to have lost the way, but their goal wasn't something grand. It was just, I don't want to work for a salary anymore. And so you need to go back and check, what is that goal? What is it that pulls you forward into whatever direction? You can plan entirely through this process. I am. But it's a matter of having a goal that isn't 6 months out. It's a matter of having a goal that could be 10 years out. And being able to then break that down into workable steps at the time.
Are there any positives that you can take from a situation like this?
I think there are. I think there are a whole lot of positives. For me, I'm using this opportunity while I have, a lesser number of clients to do some reskilling, to get a lot of content written. I've been trying to write a book for the last 18 months, and I'm making great inroads in that. There are a lot of things that you can do around your business, in your business, that during that time of battening down hatches, you can actually focus and get things done, rather than just going and sitting and watching Netflix.
We'll leave you on that note. Sound advice, David. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks, Barry.